Hi everyone, welcome to Primetime TV Show. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. We have a great lineup today. We are talking about high energy, we're talking about education on subjects that maybe could be a little bit sensitive once in a while, but we're going to really reel you in to listen to what we have to say. We have been talking about something that is really near and dear to our hearts, and that is bullying out there in the world. With me is Laura Dent, and we have our wonderful Janet Lee Stinson, who is our journey dancer with Amazing Women and teaches us all kinds of great things. But at our meeting a couple of weeks ago, you really moved me to almost tears, telling your story and what you're doing about how to get involved with what's happening out there in this bullying world and to do your part and jump right in there and make a difference. So you girls are the co-creators of One Heart Anti-Bullying. What was it that triggered you to go in there and really go after this with a phenomenal program?
You know, the rate of suicide is very high with students who are struggling with the bullying issue. Growing up, I had a bullying situation where girls would just not leave me alone because of my hair. And that was bad enough. But these days, bullying has gone to a whole new level. With cyberbullying and with the physical bullying that's happening in schools, Laura and I really felt like we had to do something about this and start a conversation.
And start a conversation, you absolutely did. How about you?
What did it for me is when I spoke to my best friend, and I was very excited because her granddaughter was her first day of school. So that night I said, "So how did it go with your granddaughter?" And she said she never wants to go back to school again. And she's 5 years old. So that broke my heart, and that's pretty much what did it for me. That's when I said right then and there that I wanted to be a part to stop this in the world. In the world.
So how did you get started with all this? I mean, this is quite a thing to get involved with because it's really running rampant. Like you're saying, it is so much different today. I mean, to the point of suicides and all that. And while, you know, maybe there isn't cut and dried answers, there is education and things that we can do for our kids, right?
Absolutely. You know, teachers don't have the tools they need in many cases. We're not trained as psychologists, and we're expected to really help in these situations. So my background as a literacy consultant really helped me here because I could put together questions that teachers could ask students to get them talking. So when we do our presentations, we really help the students learn how to speak to each other and communicate in a way that's safe and in a way that they feel like they can make a difference. While we present, the teachers are actually watching and gaining experience with the strategies we use during the conversations.
So would you say it's kind of like a little bit of role playing type of a thing?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I was just discussing with Janet Lee how role-playing is very important and how they do like to do that. What we found is that we have been showing them video clips of children their age, and they see their own peers talking about bullying, and it would just impact them so much because instead of their teachers telling them or parents or talking heads, it was coming from the heart. So much from the heart to their ears, their true stories. So it really does impact them. And at the end of our program, we asked them, what do they like about our program? And that always came up. They loved looking at the videos and hearing the stories so that they know they're not the only one.
So it's raising the awareness and giving the education and making it okay to talk about this stuff and not stuffing it and then ending up being an adult, basically like I was at our meeting a few weeks ago when I had realized once I understood what bullying was, I had been bullied as a grown adult. And so it can, you know, if it stays with a child as a bullier, and they continue on and on and on. And they need help, don't they?
They do. And so we say to students, always ask for help. At the end of our presentations, we give the students an envelope that says, always ask for help. And inside that envelope, students can place a letter that's basically asking and telling their story, but also asking for help. And we say, give this to a caring adult or to somebody that you believe will help you. And that's how we leave the students with an avenue to actually get the help they need.
I love it. You did a little demonstration at our amazing women's group at the breakfast, and I tell you, I just couldn't wait to have you talk about this so that we can raise the awareness here on Prime Time, because that's how these girls are spending their prime time, and that's what it takes, is commitment, 100% commitment, being proactive and really accountable for what you're doing. So you must have a strong desire, a really deep, unwavering passion to really get this out there. It's obvious. Would you like to do your little demonstration, which it's just wonderful the way you did this. It made so much sense.
So what we tell the children usually at the end of our program is we have them come up to us and we pick up color. Is that good for you?
That's a good color.
And so then we pick one from the can, and you can tell that these are very old crayons, 40 years to be honest. And so some of them are pretty torn up. Their clothing, we call it, is torn up and different.
And look where they come from.
And look where they come from. And then you have this beautiful, beautiful crayon here that's absolutely perfect and pointy.
Perfect. Yes.
And oh my, and look at this one, it's kind of missing some clothing there. So what we do with the children, we can lean on the box if you want. Is that good? Mm-hmm. Is we tell them, so we have the brand new, gorgeous, perfect crayon that lives in the beautiful home, and the other crayon that maybe not so beautiful. And what we do is we go like this, and we draw a heart. And we ask them if they see a difference. And usually they say no. And what I tell them is, this is your voice. Your voice is your instrument. We all have instruments. We all have something to give. And it's all the same.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And no matter where we come from, we can all make our mark.
Exactly. And you guys are doing that, definitely. It's really interesting the way you brought that out, because you can identify that with kids that maybe come from, are a little bit less fortunate and come with a little bit less, the torn clothing. Then you have the picture perfect children that have all the latest designer clothes and, the perfect this and that. Where do you find in the experience that you've been dealing with this already and what you've observed, can bullying come from either one of these types of families? It can come anywhere, can't it?
It comes from
Absolutely,
everywhere.
absolutely. And the cyberbullying issue is a big deal, because when you bully online, that's not just for now, that's forever.
That's right.
And many students don't understand that, and that when you're bullying somebody, that's always going to be there. But it's just like torture for these students, and they don't know what to do. I mean, they just feel like there's nowhere that can help me, because the adults in my life don't even understand what's happening. When we were kids, it was passing notes. That's what was happening. And nowadays, it's so much more serious. It's worldwide. So that's what we're hoping to help.
Why do you think it is so much more prevalent now with bullying than it was back in your day or my day? I mean, it was there. Do you think it's just change and stress?
It can be change and stress. I believe the media has a lot to do with the bullying situation, and when we're watching television, maybe we're not being critical viewers of what we're seeing, the reality TV shows that are happening, and we're not having these conversations with our kids that need to take place. So we're hoping that through the conversations we're helping to have in schools, that it'll spread to the homes and people will start talking about the issue.
Well, when it comes to communication, it seems like communication is really getting right down to a lot more texting and losing relationships.
And it's
losing
forever.
That.
It is forever. And another example that you can teach your children, if people have children out there that are a bully, you can take a tube of toothpaste and take all the toothpaste out of the tube and just smear it all over the table, and then tell your children to put it back in the tube. And of course they won't be able to, and that's kind of an example of how it stays out there forever, and you can't put it back. It's forever.
Yeah.
Once it's out, once your instrument and your voice have said these words are so important.
Absolutely.
So we're trying to teach that your words are your instrument, and what you say is so important.
So you should stand up.
Yes.
Don't be a bystander. Be a stand-upper.
Okay.
Ask for help.
And ask for help.
And being a stander-upper, let's say what would you recommend to kids that maybe are observing all this? Is that and how do they do that without having the fear of being bullied again and again?
So true.
It's a hard issue. What would you say?
Well, I don't want to tell the children that they're not going to be bullied ever again, because
Right.
I feel that's false hope.
Absolutely.
I want them to realize that this will probably carry on into your adulthood, but you just need to learn how to cope with it and ask for the help and befriend someone that will help you. And
Yes.
eventually you will find someone that will help you.
Yes.
And you will become successful. We talked to many students this morning when we were videotaping them, and that was very prominent, that fact that yes, they were bullied and they are still bullied, but I still wake up and I go to school in the morning because I have music to share. I have my voice to share with other things, and we had a lot of students talk about that.
What was the age group?
High school.
And you know, they can ask for help, they can stand up in the situation, but if students don't feel as if that's a safe thing to do, they can befriend the student who's being bullied and say, you know, that would really upset me too, and I can see why you're so sad, and I'm here for you. That's a way to stand up as well.
That's a way to really let that person know that, you know what, they're okay. They're really beautiful inside, and to befriend someone like that, at least they have at least one person to talk to.
Definitely.
And you might be that one person that saves a life.
Exactly. That's powerful. Do we have video? Did you make arrangements? John, is that video ready to take a look at here? We're going to see.
I was bullied for being gay.
It started when I was in middle school.
I was a witness, and every day I wish I would have said something.
I used to be the bully.
It hurt me that these people would say these things about me when I had the best intention in my heart for everyone, and I didn't want to hurt anyone, but they wanted to hurt me.
I've been bullied ever since I started school.
So I'm Janet Lee Stinson, and I've co-created the One Heart anti-bullying project for schools with Laura Dent.
We talk a lot in the schools about anti-bullying in the very beginning of the school year, and then there's nothing the rest of the school year to remind them of how important our words are.
Back in my middle school years, I was bullied by a group of girls. They kind of just singled me out in the whole entire class. Each day I'd go to school and I'd show up late because I never wanted to go to school. And they'd just pick on me all the time. They'd call me fat and ugly, stupid. I'd go to social studies class and the boys would throw erasers in my hair. I remember one day I was going out to Carline and they were like, "Oh, Kendall, you're so weird, you're so stupid, like, why don't you just go die?" And that was kind of it for me. I kind of just broke down. And I hid in a bathroom until my parents came. And I remember running to my car because I didn't want them to throw anything else at me.
How is it for you now?
I'm better. I have a good group of friends. I kind of got into music that way. It helped me a lot. I started writing. I learned how to play the guitar, taught myself how to play a bunch of different instruments. And I guess that kind of helped me out of it, because when they told me to die, I wanted to die. I wanted to just go ahead and do it. Thought I'd be less of a burden on my class, but so they didn't have to pick on me. Always ask for help. You know, if you need it at the time, it's a good thing to have. So
Just find the courage within yourself to stand up to other people and the bullying, because it has to stop, or else one day it's going to really, really affect somebody, which it already has, but you know, we want it to stop.
One heart.
one heart.
One heart.
One heart.
You draw it darker.
It's tough.
That is so raw and so deep. you guys are like earth angels for bringing this out in the open and really exposing this for what it is, and to really step up yourselves.
Well, I want to thank the teacher at the Countryside High School, Miss Florio. She was amazing, and her students were so open to us and so willing to make a difference in the world. And that's a ripple. And I said, do you have any idea the difference you're making? And the kid said, oh yeah. I said, no, I don't think you do.
Oh, to listen to that young girl, to listen to all those kids talking about, to be open. But you know what I loved, what I gleaned from that, is they made choices to turn it around. She wrapped herself up into her music. So that was something positive. And we all know what sound therapy can do for healing, emotionally and just in so many different areas. That's amazing. Now, you have your own film company. Yes?
It's called Best Day Ever Productions.
Best Day Ever. Who would have thought, right? And so you did this filming.
I did.
Nice job.
We did.
It was the best day ever.
It was. You guys are too much. So where do we go from here? What can I do? What can we do here at Primetime to help you guys out?
Well, spread the word.
Definitely.
We want to get into more schools. We really would like to continue this conversation and get it started, because it needs to be had.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just start the conversation
Like
everywhere.
us on Facebook. Spread the word.
Okay, and we had your contact up on the film, and I know we have a break coming up here in just a little bit. What's your next project with this?
We want to talk to
Can we
some
tell?
elementary school students. That's who we're going to be speaking with next.
Okay.
And
Because we want to
that's
have
next.
many clips that we can choose from depending on the audience where we're going. So we want to match that audience so students feel like they're talking to their peers.
You know, this is really great that is this the first DVD that you did, or the first film clip that you did? So then you'll have other age groups. You'll have a collage.
We will. And
You
then
will
we
have a
want to
collage.
train trainers is another thing. I mean, we are two people. We want this to go big. So if we can pull trainers together and actually get kids to be a part of this and help be leaders in their schools, I think that would be an amazing way to continue it.
And what we do is we have the children put the hearts in the heart. We forgot to talk about that. And we leave it for them so that they can visually see that every day, that
And
they're
it's
one
an
community.
Perfect.
It's an anti-bullying pledge.
That's perfect. It really is. Are you guys looking for donations?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Always.
So
Always.
if we have any angel donors out there, get a hold of these girls. I think you are on your mark with something like this. This has been going on for a long, long time, and I'm sure there's some people out there trying to figure out how to, help this thing. And it's almost like it's hush hush.
Yes.
Hush hush.
It's talked
Oh, no,
about
don't
a
talk
little,
about
right,
this.
and
It'll
then
go
it's
away if
dropped.
we don't talk about it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, but it's not going away.
No.
And then
It's
we
getting
end
worse.
up with adults that have all this stuff that's been stuffed and stuffed and stuffed to the point where it's hard to even heal.
Or we lose them altogether to suicide.
Yes.
And that's the scary part, is this how much suicide is connected to bullying.
Exactly. Well, I can't thank you guys enough. I
Thank
know
you.
that you have certainly enjoyed this. It's kind of like a little touchy here, talking about this, but communication is the key from what I can understand. Education is the key. And more than anything is caring and loving is really the biggest key, and coming from the heart. And I tell you, it's just amazing what you guys are doing, and I hope you'll come back again.
Thank you.
Would love to.
And keep us posted.
Thank
and
you.
Of course, like them on Facebook. It is One Heart Anti-Bullying. And I just can't wait to have you back
Thank
again on
you.
the show. Keep me posted on what's happening in between,
will.
in
We
between
will.
your visits on the show here, because this way, what happens is, excuse me, you can watch Primetime TV show, go to the on-demand. This segment will be aired continuously, so you can continue to promote this and get it out there. Because I can guarantee every single one of you that are watching the show today knows somebody, if not yourself, who has been bullied. So let's everybody stand up and do something about this. At least do our little share and support you guys.
One heart.
One heart. That's right.
It takes a village.
It does. We're the village.
We're the village.
We are the village.
Thank you, girls.
Thank
We're going
you.
to take a brief time out. When we come back, we have more great ladies coming on board to talk about some really cool stuff happening in our little town with a big heart.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B. Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Hi, I'm Derek Brooks, former linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. During my NFL career, I realized the importance of giving back and started my foundation, Derek Brooks Charities. We help Tampa Bay youth prepare for a successful life through our college prep and mentoring programs. Our goal is to see youth excel academically and develop strong characters and be better citizens for tomorrow. To further our mission, we've teamed up with Fun Night, a company that gives members access to thousands of nationwide discounts on products and services they buy every day. These include entertainment, retail purchases, dining, and travel. Best of all, 33% of every membership fee goes to the charity of your choice. We love being able to save our supporters money while giving them a unique opportunity to support our charitable work in the community. I invite you to consider using Fun Night to save money and give back to your favorite cause. Visit www.funnight.us to sign up now and get a free 30-day trial. Save money, help others with Fun Night, and support Derek Brooks Charities.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B. Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today. This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
The environment here is really kid-friendly, family-friendly. The parents are welcome to watch.
It's definitely been a different atmosphere since Dr. Becerra has come on. It's very inviting and welcoming, and the children just enjoy coming here all around.
My middle son did not like to come to the dentist, but now he loves to come to the Beehive.
You don't have to be afraid to go to the dentist. Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Hi everyone, welcome back into Primetime TV show. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. Now I have two more fantastic, amazing women. You know, we're all members of the Amazing Women
We
group.
are.
With Cher Kistler. Hi, Cher. Yeah. We'll get Cher back one of these times again soon. Mary Lou Hulis is with the New Beginnings Oneness Center. And then, of course, we have Carol Dennis, who has been a psychic for many years and has been doing some really incredibly amazing things. So we're going to be talking about a special event you have coming up, a special event you have coming up this week.
Right.
And so much that you've been doing at the New Beginnings Oneness Center that I just want you to give everybody a little bit of an overview. Well, it's really a big overview because you are absolutely exploding over there.
We are.
So fun. I mean, every day you've got not just one event, but several events. And of course, we were honored enough.
You were.
Yesterday, my husband did the Living from the Heart, which turned out.
Which was a great success. We were packed, and Dennis did an awesome job. Just awesome. We learned all kinds of ways to live from the heart in a new way.
In a new way.
In a new way. So he brought a lot of new information in because he was a graduate of the Heart Institute, which is doing, I was telling my husband some of the things he said, and some of them are almost unbelievable, aren't they?
Yes.
That we're learning about our body and the heart and all of that. Yeah.
And it really ties in with the groups that you're doing
Right.
as well, with the Tai Chi and Qi Kong, that's energy.
Right.
Carol Dennis with her psychic abilities
Yes.
and all the, I can't wait to tell you about what's coming up tomorrow night. But I just want to ask you real quickly, I mean, we've known each other for a while. You and I've known each other for a while. Isn't it interesting that we have circled back around after what, 10 years or so or
isn't that
more?
something?
The timing's right, isn't
The
it?
timing's right. I think it's like a tapestry.
Yeah.
I say you see people come in and out of your life, but when the time is right, we begin to make that picture on the tapestry together, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We absolutely are.
Yeah. And I can see you all are such a gift to NBOC. So we really enjoyed having you. But we're busy almost every day. Every day and every night we have something going on over there.
I know.
We have such gifted people. And our heart really is to bridge the gaps between spiritual paths, because I think spiritual paths have been really the cause of so many wars, religion, so many wars and so many disputes, and many times it's just communication. You know, we have different dialogue. And as I began to come out, I had a very religious background and know the Bible inside, outside, and upside down. But as I began to come out and I have spiritual friends, they would say different things, and I think, you know, they're saying the same thing. You know, in the church, I used to speak in churches and prophesize, and Carol's a channel. So, but we go like that. We're so afraid of those words, but they're just words. We have guides. They had angels. You know, so really it's the same thing. So our heart is really bridging those gaps and building those bridges that we can have understanding and communicate. We've had 3 peace days, which we've had each one over 17 different religions come and pray for peace in their own way without trying to convince anybody, but just to bring that you know, oneness in. And that's why we call it a oneness center, because, you know, scientifically, just like what Kelly was talking about, we are all interconnected to everything, the trees, the animals, each other. So if I do something to Carol, I'm doing it to myself. So I think that is the heart, is to really bring that awareness of our interconnectedness. And wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? You know, I think that there's only one problem on planet Earth. And that problem is we think we're separated from divinity and from each other. And once that is bridged, there will be no problems. We would have no wars. We would have no bullying in school. We would have none of that if we could really see our interconnectedness. So that's our heart. And we're just trying to provide a lot of tools, a lot of classes and events and things like that that can help people become aware. Because, you know, we're at a tipping point really in humanity right now.
We are.
We really are. And people are waking up all over the world.
They are. They are absolutely waking up.
All over the world.
Well, you know, the one thing that, I mean, when Kelly and I come to your service on Sunday mornings, we feel good when we get there. We feel good while we're there. We feel good when we leave, and it carries through.
Right.
And it just reinforces that favorite 4-letter word, which is love.
Right.
And you do feel that that is one thing that you bring about no matter what we're doing over there. Everybody is just so loving and caring.
They are.
And that's what we need in this world. And I love the fact that you brought up the fact that you had Peace Day, you had 17 different religions. 17. I didn't know there were 17 different religions.
There's much more. We also had Alliance for a New Humanity, where we brought people together. It was under Deepak Chopra a few years ago. He's not part of it anymore, but we were bringing people for like communication at our place, and we had many different religious leaders. And we would go to the Muslim and have a service with them, and then they'd come up with us. But we had Buddhists, we had Hindus, we had Muslims, we had Baha'i, we had Jewish cantors. It was beautiful, and we would all hold hands in a circle. And I had a dream. I think I told you about this on my last program. I had a dream about that, about getting into a circle, and people said we can agree on love.
Yes.
You know, all different people would take your hand and said, you know, we can agree on love. And I wept the first time we had it, because here were all of these people, and it was like I was seeing my dream manifest. So it really is my heart to bring us together, because when you study the root of all religions and spiritual path, it's that 4-letter word you just mentioned. It's love. It's when man gets a hold of it, builds an institution around it, and makes the rules that separate us from one another.
It really does, and that's why I love the name of your New Beginnings Oneness Center, and it is a new beginning for a lot of people that maybe will come for the first time and see what it's about, and it's growing by leaps and bounds, Mary Lou. You just moved in there. I see you moving out into another big entity.
I know.
It's wonderful. It truly is, and we're so glad to be part of it. You're going to be hearing more and more about the New Beginnings Oneness Center, because I have a feeling that you're just going to take this worldwide, and that's what we need to do to really help. You're saying we are at a tipping point, and I mentioned this to Cher one time. It just kind of came from, it's up to our generation.
It is.
It's up to us right here and now.
And to support one another, just like Janet Lee, and we want to support them and what they're doing. That's the whole thing. We make each other bigger when we can collaborate and come together. So that's another thing. We're trying to support other people's, like Carol and I are coming together and collaborating. Cher and I come together and collaborate. You and I have come, and that's really the name of the game. The word competition doesn't work.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
It just doesn't work anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
And you feel better about what you're doing, and that love is so much easier to emerge from really deep down at the pit of our soul. Wouldn't you agree?
And we're happier.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. We're so much happier when we can just live in that help and love, and not that we're all perfect and we're all learning, but we're becoming witnesses of ourselves, I think, in a greater way.
That's very good way to put that.
We are.
Well, I just love having you on the show when you can, because I know you're a busy lady, and so we're honored to have you. But I have to talk about Carol too, because she's part of the Oneness Center.
She is.
And tomorrow, I can't wait to talk about this. Okay, we are going to have do you believe in ghosts? Have you ever seen a UFO? Do you ever feel like there's ghosts around you? No, seriously. Whether you believe in this or not, you have to hear about Close Encounters that's going to be taking place at the New Beginnings Oneness Center tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock. It's a $10 donation, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Let's hear about it.
I know.
We are so looking forward to this. Rita Milios is a psychotherapist and a hypnotherapist. And she approached me a couple of months ago and said, would you be interested in working with me with a group of people who have had paranormal experiences, close encounter experiences, other dimensional experiences? Would you be willing to get together with some of those people and create something? And I went, yes.
It didn't take long for you to answer, right?
Okay,
Cheers right there.
There
all the time.
Yes, I know.
But you know, I've had so many of my own experiences, and so is she. She'd had her own personal experiences as well as in her practice. She found so many people were having experiences that needed somebody to talk to, and for me as well in my practice, I see it all the time. And people they want to talk about it. And so many of them, I've said, I've never told anybody this before. This is too weird. I can't tell. But you can tell us anything. We'll listen to anything. Because between the two of us, we've both been doing this for a very long time. And so we both had so many of our own experiences, heard so many experiences, that probably whatever you can come up with, we've got another story like that. So there's not really anything new under the sun. People have been seeing ghosts for a really long time and having all sorts of experiences, but it seems like more people are having those experiences. And now with television, with all of the medium shows and all of that paranormal shows now, it's much more acceptable to talk about. When back in the day when this was happening to me, and there was nobody to talk about it. It wasn't on TV.
Well, you grew up in a house, didn't you?
I did, indeed.
And when you moved out, it's all this is stopped. Like lights going on and off, and
Yeah, doors opening and closing, but the most impactful for me was seeing this black figure walk around my bedroom.
Ooh.
And he'd walk around and he'd get closer and closer and closer and closer till I couldn't stand it, and I would scream, and the lights would come on and my parents would come in, and it would go away. But I was the only one seeing him in the beginning when we first moved there. There were 7 children, 6 when we moved in, and then one more a little bit later, and then the little ones, the babies, started seeing things and talking about it. But my mother didn't. She was a fundamentalist Christian, and she didn't believe in it. And so I just kept getting negated. No, you're not seeing it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I can't tell you how many times I heard stop it. And I couldn't help it. Of course, then it got really dramatic, and the lights and the things started happening a lot more dramatically. And then my mother saw it herself.
Oh, she did?
She did.
How'd she handle that?
We moved.
I love it.
There were other reasons.
And so they stopped. So it stopped. They didn't follow you there.
Yeah. No. It stopped pretty much, and it stopped for me. My mother always talked about how she remembers hearing overheard the little kids talking about, I don't see it. Do you see it? No, I don't see it. It didn't come with us. Oh, good. It didn't come with us.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you've been a psychic for how many years?
25, professionally, 25 years.
25 years. What made you start doing that, all this?
No, things continued to happen.
They just evolved.
Yeah, and then when I was 37, in 1987, I had one of those cathartic, hit bottom kind of experiences where, life-changing experiences. And I said, okay, there's something different. I better do something different in my life. And so I started studying and researching and exercising and working my psychic ability and going to every class I could go to, and just started exercising. And I did it for free for a long time. And then finally I said, okay, January 1st, 1990, that's the day I started.
So you committed.
I did.
Heavily.
Oh yeah. And I began receiving telepathic information in 1987 about color, and that's where my colorology book comes from.
I was going to mention that. I want to know exactly. Can you give me how did that come to you? I mean, are you just sitting there reading the paper, watching TV, eating your dinner, and then all of a sudden something comes into your head?
Well, when I say I hit bottom, I was a mess. I had a lot of issues, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, financially, every kind of way. And I said, I can't do this myself. If there's a God, if there's somebody, if there's really something to this spirit guide business or any of that, if there's anybody out there, hello. And I was living on Clearwater Beach, and I would walk down the beach. I started at my building, and I would walk down the beach, and I just kept saying, somebody's got to help me. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm in trouble. Somebody better help me. And so I started hearing this voice, and it was very clear. It always was on this side. It was very clear, and I could ask anything that I wanted, and I would get an answer, except, who are you? Nothing. I started healing using this information they were giving me, and I would get paragraphs of information, and I would write them down, and I'd go to the library and I'd stand in the library, and I'd just look. I'd go up and down the science. It was all about science, and I knew nothing about science. And I'd just look, and I'd go, that one. And I'd pull this book out, and I'd just go, blur, and I'd open it up, and there was the exact paragraph that I had just written the night before. Wow. I'm like, wow. I don't know. This is science. I don't know anything about science. And so it just went on like that. And it just and more and more information came, and I would write it all down and write all this stuff down. And then I started using it. I used color therapy to heal my body. I had several different issues, and they went away when I was using color therapy. And so I'm going, okay, this is working. There's something to this. All right, I'm just going to keep on going.
And that's the only thing different that you did?
Well, besides meditating, I was meditating. I learned about chakra balancing. I was balancing my chakras. I was doing all sorts of therapy. I was doing everything. I was going to fix it. It was bad, and I was going to fix it. And I did, and life just became magical. And one thing after another, and 10 books later, and...
You have written a lot of books, very interesting, very intriguing books. It's always piqued my interest, and yet we've never had a one-on-one, maybe I'm afraid to know what she's going to see.
Have you ever taken her colorology class?
No, but I'm getting
Phenomenal.
the book. I
Phenomenal.
definitely want to know more about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I guess it's possible to gravitate. I feel like I'm being pulled towards certain colors. Like, I think I brought this up to somebody doing this blue color. I've never worn blue. Somebody said it was that indigo, the third eye, that awareness and all that kind of. And I know that sounds all that kind of woo-woo, but I kind of like it. It's kind of fun.
Makes life fun.
I know. I don't care if it's woo-woo. Just if you have fun with it.
We got so many friends now that are woo-woo.
I know. We don't feel weird anymore.
No, we don't.
I felt so weird when I was a kid when they're talking about a high
I know.
which we didn't.
I think everybody's walk starts, we're weird.
Yeah.
And we don't fit in.
Yeah.
Because everybody's walk that I've heard, it really starts like that. It starts by yourself, but I think we're finding each other. I said, we're remembering.
Yeah.
Not just here remembering, but remembering as groups now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Along with that colorology, and it's just a matter too of having that interest and that inner desire of finding out more.
Right.
How do any of us know exactly what really is? And so it's nice to make those discoveries and have these things kind of like
downloaded.
I say to my husband, I said, don't talk to me, I'm getting something from the other side. And he looks at me, now he's doing it. Oh, God. But we have a blast with it.
Yeah.
So I started this, I got certified in feng shui years ago because I knew at some point I'll bring that out with all this other stuff that we're doing and everything, but I started feng shuiing my home, and I know you guys know all about feng shui. And I was just dibble-dabbling, and I found that it was working, and of course believing in prayer and meditation, but I found myself so fascinating with cause and effect and with doing this. So now, if I want that red top, and I want it to be a certain length of sleeve or whatever, I think about it, and within 24 hours, I will find exactly that. Does that make sense?
Right. Sure.
Makes sense, right? What you think about, you bring about.
Absolutely.
So now I'm doing this wacky thing with Joanne Hill and Everett and I are doing it too. It's a feng shui 28-day thing. It's a lot of work, you talk about wacky and woo-woo, but it's fun. It's really fun.
Well, you're going to have to tell us about it.
I will. I will. I'll print it up for you. It is wacky and fun. And I told Joanne the other day a couple of the things that has manifested since we were doing this wacky stuff. So, you never know. And besides, do I want to be sitting home watching the news with the remote control and just sitting there being unhealthy?
Exactly.
And I'd rather be out and just discover things in the world, whether and I will make the choice whether or not to put that into my belief system, right?
Exactly. It resonates with you.
If it
clicks,
resonates with you, you know from the heart.
Absolutely, you know
just
from the
like
heart.
Living from the heart. Your heart is either going to reject it or it's going to embrace it. So talking tomorrow night, I don't know what to expect, but my husband is going to beat the doors down to get over there.
Well, when they came to me about this, I thought, I mean, it's not that I thought it was wacky. I just thought, would there be people interested? There are so many people that have come to me that are so interested. I mean, for a first class, I think it's going to be overflowing.
It will be.
Because people are so... And people start telling me their experiences.
They want to talk about it so bad, but they won't think they're weird.
Yeah.
They so need a place to talk about it.
I know. Well, Kelly has shared these stories with me for a long time. And when he was winning all those world championships and stuff, I really did wonder if he was an alien. I wondered if he was from another planet. I'm thinking, how can anybody go? He's 69 years old and he's going out there winning these world championships, and I'm going, something's wrong. Then he started telling me about being abducted and seeing these UFOs, and I mean, like...
You mean he was abducted?
Well, he hasn't gotten that far.
Oh.
I think he was. I think he was.
Not like you're telling everybody.
I don't care. It's okay.
Kelly, we still love you, and we know it's Barbara talking.
I can guarantee you he's at the gym right now, pumping iron. He's not even watching the show. But, I listened to, he would tell me stories from when he was young, really a young child. So when I said, Carol Dennis and Rita are having this close encounters. He goes, I go, you don't want to go, do you? You go, yeah. I go, it's going to be like-minded people talking about all these wacky stories and everything and what's happened to them. He goes, I want to go, I want to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It is
is.
tomorrow night at the Oneness Center. It's $10 at 7 o'clock. How long is that going to go about?
To 9, 7 to 9.
Tonight, 7 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So it's basically going to be kind of like a meet and greet and everybody sharing their stories. Are you going to facilitate something?
It's going to be organically developed. We're just going to see how it goes.
I love organic.
It's just,
That's the best.
People need to share. There'll be certainly stories, and then there'll be an educational component that will come along. Probably not this first time, just because we just want everyone to get to know each other and just them to get to know us and just experience.
Let me give the address.
Okay.
It's 210 South Pinellas Avenue, and that is South Pinellas is really alternate 19. So the New Beginning is on the corner of Boyer and alternate 19. We're in the arcade building. It has arches in the front. It's a historical building, and we're on the south side. So come tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and Carol and I will be there, and Rita will be there, and a lot of other people I know are going to be there too now. So it's going to be an exciting evening. I'm really looking forward to it too.
I am too.
Yeah.
I just love you. You're doing. Just when I thought I knew a lot about a lot, and then Mary Lou's got something else going on. What's that? What's that? What's that? And I think it's really a lot of fun.
It is. And we have such great people.
Really,
I mean,
I love it.
I know.
I tell people you'll love the energy. Just come one time, you'll get hooked. You'll see.
So many loving people. Yeah. They're all masters there too. Everybody that comes there is gifted.
Exactly.
So it's awesome.
Yesterday's service was wonderful.
Yeah. Ken Reed did it, who had been a monk in the Himalayas, had lived in the Himalayas, had lived in ashrams. He kind of gave us a little pictures of when he was young and in the Himalayas. He does meditation every Sunday from 9:15 to 10 at NBOC before our celebration service. We have drawn the most phenomenal people. I mean, it's just like he just came to the center and found us and has plugged in, and we just feel so blessed.
He's such a sweet soul.
Isn't he a beautiful?
Oh.
There's a peace about him. When you meditate with him, it's just so easy to meditate. His peace just like emanates. It's just, he's a beautiful man. We have a lot of beautiful people there.
It's so great.
Yeah.
It truly is. Now you also have, I'm going to let you tell about this because I can really dig up excitement, but not like you on this event. This is amazing.
Yes.
Thursday night
at 7 o'clock. These people are coming. They're on their southeastern tour. They're internationally known. They have the world's biggest didgeridoo and crystal bowls and all kinds of other instruments. And it is going to be phenomenal. A friend of mine, Dale Hoffman, told me about them. And so we lined them up while they're on the tour. So it's $25 if you buy it. You can go to our meetup, New Beginning Oneness Center meetup. You can pay for it on meetup, and it's $30 at the door. So it's going to be phenomenal.
It will be.
It really will be.
Definitely will
I've heard
be.
from other people that have heard them, and they said it is an experience, real experience. You know, because it's vibration. It's a healing concert because everything they use is vibratory, and so it goes into your cellular memory and everything. So it's really an awakening too that happened. So we're so excited to host them tomorrow night.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Because I love the bowls. They're just so amazing, and you can actually feel that.
Oh, absolutely.
The resonance is just so neat.
Phenomenal.
And you feel different after you've, sound therapy. I mean,
It's
been around for a gazillion years.
Right.
And to be able to have so many different events at your center with that, with the sound therapy and Carol, with just... It's like awakenings all over. And waking people up to say, you know what, come on out of the house and get out and go see what's happening in your very own little town. I call our town a small town with a big heart.
It is.
It truly is, and it's just going to be wonderful. I can't wait. It's going to 2 events. We are going to be out after dark twice this week. So it's
going to be wonderul. Yeah,
and then your service is every Sunday at
10:30.
10:30.
Yeah, we have the meditation from 9 9:15 to 10, and then our celebration service is from 10:30 to noon. And then we either have a potluck or we all go out to lunch together. It's really what we're building. It's not church as usual. We're really building a community, a cohesive community, a place where it's safe for you to be authentic and really to support. I have people speak for the first time, sing for the first time, do an instrument for the first time. We have awesome music. Pam and Mark Caddis here, just
they are
phenomenal.
amazing.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful.
And we're starting a kirtan community there. If you know what that is, it's chanting. This young couple has approached me and want to start a kirtan community, so we're going to be starting that. I guess it's kind of like you chant and they chant back, and I'm learning too. As people come to me, I'm learning, but we've got a lot of new things. Every day people are coming to me wanting to do new things. So go to our meetup site, New Beginning Oneness Center Meetup, and you'll see all the things that are happening there. We've got Course in Miracles. We've just got a Sacred Women's Luncheon. At the end of the month, I've got to mention this. At the end of the month, last Friday of the month, is Amazing Woman Tarpon, and it's called Enchanted Evening. We're going to have chanting, a belly dancer. It is going to be an amazing evening. Last time Barbara was dancing in the hall. Carol was up dancing. Acting crazy. I'm telling you, I had to calm them down. We had a ball. We had such a great time.
It really was a blast.
It was.
And I look so forward to it again.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you, ladies, for coming on
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes,
so
and
much.
try to hook up with us over there at the Oneness Center. You will be amazed at what's going on, and really, a community it is.
It is.
One community.
Thank you.
We are all one, and the more we spread the word, the more we can help the world.
Exactly.
Thank
you
you,
for having us, Barbara.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
And remember, you can see the show in the, not the archives, it's called On Demand. If you go to primetimetvshow.com, you can always click on the left On Demand, and you'll be able to see all of the shows that we keep and save just for you. So spread the word, and hope to see you at the New Beginnings Oneness Center. And I will see you next Monday, same time, same place, right here at Primetime TV Show, live at 5. Have a great week.